Most developers thought AI coding tools were just fancy autocomplete. They were wrong. Today we are cutting through the noise to show you the 5 tools that are actually running in real code bases in 2026. The AI coding space has changed fast. A couple of years ago, you had 1 or 2 real options and most of them felt like glorified autocomplete. Now there are dozens of tools competing for space in your editor, your terminal, and your workflow. But here is the thing, the market has matured. Developers have had time to actually use these tools, hit their limits, switch, and figure out what sticks. If you look at the dev forums, the GitHub discussions, the community threads, 5 names keep coming up over and over again. Not because of marketing budgets, because they are actually useful. We are going to go through each one, tell you what makes it different, and who it is best for. By the end of this video, you will know exactly where to start. Let us get into it. GitHub Copilot has been around the longest, and it shows. It is deeply integrated into VS Code, JetBrains IDEs, Neovim, and several other editors. What started as autocomplete on steroids has grown into something much more capable over time. You can now chat with it directly inside your editor, ask it to explain code, generate tests, fix bugs, and even pull in context from across your codebase. One of Copilot's biggest strengths is how embedded it is in the development ecosystem. For teams already on GitHub, it fits naturally into the tools they are already using. The barrier to entry is low, the onboarding is fast, and the quality of suggestions has improved noticeably compared to where it started. It is not the most exciting tool on this list, but it is the most battle-tested. And for a lot of teams, battle-tested is exactly what they need. Keep that thought in mind because it ties directly into what is coming next. Now here is where things get more interesting. Cursor took a fundamentally different approach from Copilot. Instead of building a plugin for an existing editor, the team built an entirely new editor on top of VS Code. So you get the familiar feel and extensions you already know, but the AI is woven into every layer of the experience. The standout feature is that Cursor lets you select any chunk of code and talk to the AI about it in context. You can say refactor this function to be more readable or why is this breaking, and get answers that actually understand what surrounds that code, not just the single line you highlighted. Cursor also has a mode for working across multiple files at once, which is something simple autocomplete tools just cannot touch. For solo developers, freelancers, and anyone building side projects, Cursor has become one of the most talked about tools in the space. There is a reason developers who switch to it tend to stick with it, and that loyalty is exactly why it made this list. Speaking of reaching beyond a single file, let us talk about Claude Code. This is Anthropic's tool that lets you run Claude directly from your terminal. And before you skip past this one, stay with me. Claude Code is not just a chatbot you can access from a command line. You give it a task, and it reads your files, plans an approach, writes code, runs commands, checks for errors, and loops back until the job is done. It handles multi-step tasks that would take multiple rounds of back-and-forth prompts in any other tool. Developers working on complex backend systems, large refactors, or anything that spans multiple files and directories have been reaching for this when the scope is too big for a quick prompt. It requires a level of trust to let an AI operate across your codebase. But for developers who have put in the time to learn how to work with it, it has become a serious part of their workflow. If autonomous AI coding is where things are heading, this is what that looks like right now. Windsurf comes from the team at Codium, and it is another full editor built with AI at its core. What sets Windsurf apart is a feature called Cascade, which gives the AI visibility into your entire coding session rather than just the file you currently have open. It sees what you changed, what errors came up, what you searched for, and uses all of that context to make suggestions and edits that feel more connected to what you are actually trying to do. Windsurf has picked up real traction with developers who tried Cursor and wanted something slightly different, and with developers who are coming to AI editors for the first time. The two tools are genuinely competitive. Which one works better for you often comes down to workflow and personal preference, which is actually a good sign. When two tools are that close, it means the category itself has matured. And that brings us to the final tool on this list, which takes a completely different direction from everything we have covered. The fifth tool on this list is different from everything we have covered so far, and that is exactly why it is here. Aider is open source. You run it in your terminal, connected to whatever AI model you prefer, and it works directly with your Git repository as a pair programmer. You describe what you want done, and Aider writes the code, stages the changes, and commits them. One of the things developers consistently highlight about Aider is the transparency and control. You can see exactly what it is doing at every step. You choose which model powers it, so you are not locked into one provider. And because the tool itself is open source, there are no subscription fees attached to Aider itself. For developers who work in environments where a cloud-based editor is not an option, or who want flexibility without being tied to one company's ecosystem, Aider fills a real gap. It is not as visually polished as the editor-based tools, but it has a dedicated community and it keeps getting better. Do not overlook it. So with 5 strong options on the table, how do you actually choose? The answer depends on how you work. If you want something that integrates into your existing setup with basically no friction, Copilot is the natural starting point. If you want an AI-native editor experience built for the way modern development actually works, Cursor and Windsurf are both worth a serious look. Try both for a week. The one that feels right usually is. If you need an AI that can tackle a full task and run with it across your whole codebase, Claude Code is worth your time. And if flexibility and open source matter to you, Aider gives you full control without the lock-in. Here is the bigger takeaway from all 5 of these tools. The developers getting the most out of AI right now are not the ones who picked one tool and committed to it forever. They are experimenting, combining tools, and staying honest about where the time savings are real and where the hype is running ahead of reality. That critical mindset is what separates developers who actually level up from the ones who just talk about it. If you want a practical, no-hype breakdown of the AI tools that are actually worth your time every single week, hit subscribe. That is exactly what we do here.